Hello everybody, I'm Ethan Cordes, back again with another weekly video. This week the metric I want to talk about is explosive distance. Similar to total distance, right? This one's also measured in yards. So if your value on the PDF that I send out is 1200, well, you covered 1200 explosive distance yards. So firstly, what is it? The fancy way of saying it is fancy yet hopefully simple enough to understand is everything that you do above a certain power threshold. So what I want you guys to think of there is like movements that require effort and like force. So not really that jogging and walking, but more those accelerations, sprints, decelerations as well. So it takes all those and then it subtracts out your high speed running, right? So any movement you're doing it above a 5.5 meter per second rate. So basically what that dumbs down to is distance that you are accelerating and that you are decelerating. In that little graph in the corner you see I have that dashed red line of where that high speed running threshold would be, right? And so anything above that is not going to count towards the explosive distance. Anything below, right, the big accelerations and decelerations, those are going to count. So what does it mean? How is it applicable to soccer? So remember a few weeks ago in the total distance video, I said it could be misinterpreted, right? Because it includes all that jogging and walking that you do in a game. Well, those kind of get cut out in this category, right? So this is, you can think of it as a more accurate reflection than total distance. This is a little bit more accurate reflection of what you're doing on the field, right? Because it includes those explosive actions that are going to affect the game, like your accelerations, like your decelerations. Think about how you actually move on the field, right? If you're dribbling with the ball, you're accelerating, and then if you're coming to go one-on-one with a man, you're going to slow down a little bit, do your move, and then accelerate out of it, right? So the acceleration and deceleration, and then the acceleration at the end, those are all going to count towards this explosive distance, right? And those are all movements that are going to impact the possession or the game. Versus you don't have the ball, you're kind of just jogging. You're not really affecting much in that moment in time. So, especially with some of these more confusing ones, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me at any time, right? Before practice, after practice, if there's like a water break, right? Feel free to come and find me. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. And hopefully I can answer any questions you guys have. But that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll be back next week with the next metric.